Around 15,000 individuals are expected to participate in the May 1 Labor Day activities. Aside from Metro Manila, there will also be events in Calamba, Bacolod, Cebu, Ormoc, and parts of Mindanao. This as they call on the government to increase the national minimum wage to 750 pesos. They are also appealing to end contractualization, a promise that was never fulfilled by the Duterte administration.
Sinisingil natin ang rehimeng ito dahil siya ay naluklok sa pwesto sa pangako na contractualization must stop. Matapos ang 6 na taon, walang nangyari sa kanyang pangako.
Hindi na kami umaasa kay Pangulong Duterte na i-resolve niya yung kanyang pangako na ititigil ang contractualizasyon. Ilalaban na lang namin yan sa susunod na administrasyon. Pero, meron pa naman siyang panahon, hanggang June pa siya, tugunin niya yung kahilingan ng mga manggagawa ngayon, nationwide, yung kahilingang itaas ang sahod ng mga manggagawa sa buong bansa ng 750.
A group of call center workers is also appealing to let them continue their work-from-home setup while the country remains under state of calamity.
Simula ng pandemya, hindi kami nagkulang sa serbisyo, hindi kami nagkulang sa produksyon. Despite sa mga napagdaanan naming hindrances, yung mga kakulangan ng equipment, kakulangan ng internet, and in fact, in the last 2 years, ayon po sa datos ng PESA, 5 to 15% ang increase ng productivity.
In NCR, labor groups met in Bustillos Church, then marched to Mendiola for a program. Presidential candidate Calyodi de Guzman believes that it is important for the government to know the workers' concerns. He also assures that they will follow health protocols amid the threat of the Omicron subvariant.
Kung pinayagan yung pangangampanya ng mga trapo na para sa kanilang sarili, bakit naman hindi namin tutuloy? At tinitiyak naman namin yung pagsunod dun sa mga protocol na may face mask at tinitiyak na may mga distansya sa paglulunsad ng pagkilos.
Calyodi also believes that the government must take responsibility in providing jobs for Filipinos. This as the latest social weather stations report shows that 11 million people were jobless during the last quarter of 2021.
Dapat siya akuin niya yung buong responsibilidad na bigyan ng trabaho yung ating mga manggagawa. Maraming paraan. Public employment. Ang daming kulang sa mga health workers natin. Ang daming kulang ng mga manggagawa. Ang daming kulang ng mga manggagawa sa sektor ng edukasyon na para dagdag na personnel.
For News 5, Paul Samarita, We Are One News.
Presidential candidate Manny Pacquiao campaigned in several areas in Mindanao yesterday. Pacquiao spoke with residents in Zamboanga City, then went to Cagayan de Oro City to woo voters. Pacquiao also went to Press Freedom Monument in the provincial capital, where he offered flowers in honor of the World Press Freedom Day on May 3. The COMELEC is confident that there will be no repeat of the 7-hour glitch in that transmission of results during the 2019 elections. COMELEC Commissioner Marlon Casquejo said that they had changed the terms of reference for transmission of votes to the media server to avoid the same glitch. Casquejo added that they didn't encounter any problems during the stress test, where around 50,000 to 100,000 votes were sent simultaneously.
So we are confident that the hardware component as well as the software component, malaki na yung capacity and hindi na mangyayari yung sinasabi mong 7-hour glitch.
Now, as the elections draws near, the Education Department has allowed teachers not to report on site from May 2 to May 13. The DepEd says over 600,000 or majority of teachers will serve as poll workers in the upcoming elections, and that preparations are already underway for schools that will be used as polling places. Now, those who will not have a poll duty, however, should continue school-based works during the period. These include accomplishing forms, preparing instructional and learning plans, and evaluating output of students. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. SpaceX has launched 53 satellites through a Falcon 9 rocket, sending Starlink internet relay satellites into orbit. Now, how will this affect the future of the commercial space economy? The details in this Bloomberg video.
Lisa, this rocket flew just 21 days ago, so that timeline is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. What exactly does this signify in terms of what SpaceX and the team there has accomplished?
Well, thank you, Emily. What we're seeing is what Justin was referring to is this becoming the business of space, that we are able to launch frequently, and this becomes an enabler for commercial space companies to be flying payloads. We're not only flying other people's payloads at our company, but we're flying our own sensors that allow us to provide data and bring that data back from space that enables companies like the oil and gas industry, insurance industries, logistics industries that can help us with supply chain issues or, issues with even disaster responsiveness. So all of this, we watch the launches and it's exciting to see the launch, but we'd love to tell the story of, the high capability of what's flying and what that means back here on Earth.
53 satellites going into orbit today, and thank you for explaining just how important these satellites are. You look up in the sky on any given night and you see them, and I wonder, are we getting concerned that it's getting a little crowded up there? Are there, once the space economy becomes more rich, are there concerns about crashes and traffic going forward?
Well, I'm glad you bring that up because space traffic management is an important part of the process, and we're going to be getting better at this by improving our regulatory process. So improving the regulatory process actually makes us more competitive, and we have folks working very hard to make this have more ease of use, right? Right now, when a company flies a spacecraft or satellite, as we call these satellites, you hear if there's a conjunction event or a possible collision event, you're notified of that. But the company itself isn't necessarily able to track it. They're going to be notified. So in the future, we're going to have that process, I think, opening up a little more for awareness that allows us to avoid these potential collisions. But is it a danger now or 5 years from now? I'm not so sure it will be, because our systems are all improving and the technology and awareness of where satellites are is improving all the time. So space is a big place. There's a lot of space in space. So I don't find that a concern, and I don't think a lot of satellite operators do necessarily today.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 10:15 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.